Good day, podcast community. We have a special guest on our show. Not only is she a special guest, we're on the Special Needs podcast. So, yes, we're going to be talking about our special needs community. And let me see if I get it right. Mamina. Did I get that right?
Correct, very correct. Yes, you got
Look,
it.
she's been coaching me now. I'm not a scholar when it comes to academics, so she put me in the remedial class, and she's been working with me. But why don't you tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve?
First of all, I would like to say namaste. Um,
Mhm.
that means good day, like you
Okay.
started your show with. And I would also
Awesome.
like to share that I'm really grateful to be here with your
Mhm.
invitation. And I'm really happy to talk about special needs today. So my name
Mhm.
is Mamina, as you can see in the screen, and I work as a analytic behavior, applied behavior analysis therapies as
Mhm.
a behavior therapist, certified in North Carolina.
Mhm. That is
And
awesome.
I work with autists,
Mhm.
and I work with autistic children from the
Mhm.
age group of like 2.5 years to the range goes 21, but right now I'm concentrated in the population of 3 to 5 years.
Mhm. That is so. I love it. It warms my heart. I know a lot of people that are in the autistic, the either on the high end, the middle end, but different. They're all individuals that have extremely talented skills, but you really have. They're not like just normal skills that we're used to. They're used to different types of skills. When I was talking to Sylvia last night, she was saying that on hers, the one when she was with her daughter, it was kind of like a side hug. That's just how they embraced her when they met her. What got you into serving the autistic community? What was that like? What was your decision like?
This is a very good question, and this is a turning point in my life. I think this is a blessing. This is a guidance, some kind of higher power, because if I look back 5 years to my life, uh, I didn't even know that after 5 years I'll be doing something like this, and which is more meaningful and purposeful. And I'll be serving children. I never thought of that. But I
Mhm.
always loved children. So to start with, I would like to give the credibility to my friend who saw me in a preschool when I was working as a teacher. She said that I think you can work with autistic kids. I had no clue about. I was not confident enough. So credit goes to her. She referred me for this job and for this career. And there, I was very happy uh, to be in that space, with the children, to see them that they are capable in a different way, to perceive things differently. That's how my thought process changed.
Mhm.
It is said that when the way you see changes, the perception is also changing. It's in a positive direction.
Yes.
I can never think of a child until now that uh, if a child is autistic, that child is in a disease. I can never think like that. I can
Mhm.
never think like that. To
Mhm.
me, that child is capable in a different way, which is not normalized. Not
Yes.
normalized. So which again gives two perspective. Like we are again keeping them in a category of special needs, Of course, they
Hmm.
have needs, but the other thing which is very uh, depressing is that we are not able to be inclusive. We are always putting them in a special category. No,
Hmm.
they are, yes, they are special, but why can't we normalize that special? Why can't we normalize, Because we have our own way of living, they have their own way of living. They are very specific, we are generic.
Hmm. I
So they
heard a
are more
person.
present.
Hmm.
They are
Did
more
you?
present in a situation.
Yes, totally. And the ability to listen is an extremely great skill in our society because we're so distracted by all this other stuff that when somebody is present, it stands out because they're totally in the conversation. And the people I know, there's a coffee shop not too far here, and she spoke to our Rotary Club. And so she only employs special needs kids because her daughter's a special need. When you go into that coffee shop, you feel like you're the only person there. They totally, I mean, the girl came over. This was another girl I was meeting with, a colleague, totally present in the conversation. It was the most enjoyable conversation. And it was basically they were present that really made it so special because so many times you can tell. I had a person and I was working with him, and he was like constantly turning, doing some stuff on the side, like he wasn't in the conversation. He was trying to do multi things. And it's like, it's aggravating when somebody is not present. Did you find that the case when you, like, let's go back to the first couple years when you're all of a sudden putting yourself into teaching autistic kids? What were you thinking? Like, what was your takeaway? If you were just talking to me today and it was in your first year, what would you share with our viewers that made it so special for you to be teaching in that environment?
Well, that's a very good question. And the thing which I experienced was like the way society runs, the way people opinionize their ideas and perception without considering the other person who is in front of them uh, and who is really being themselves. Suppose I'm a teacher, I'm constantly seeing that child not as they are, but comparing them to the other childs and then children, and then I'm talking about um, comparing, constantly talking about their not being capable. They cannot sit in one spot, they cannot focus, they cannot, constantly those things stood out to me, and I was not very happy about it. I'm like, who are we to judge if we are not able to see them as they are? And it is disturbing us in a classroom setting, normal classroom setting. If we are having 17 children, if two or three children need that special attention, then if we cannot accommodate or we cannot be there for themselves, then we just cannot tell them that they're not like the other kids, they need attention. I mean, that's our incapacity. That is our incapacity to not be inclusive. And I was always drawn to those kids. I would leave those 11, 13 other kids and I would really go there without any second thought to attend them. Like, if these three kids are sitting in the classroom, then everything is fine. But why they are not sitting? What is happening? Why? Why?
Mhm.
So that why. So when that why came to me, I was like, no, I think I should not work with a big setting. I want to work
Mhm.
with them one on one and
Mhm.
let me understand them more.
Did you, like, obviously that person that asked you about, working with kids with autism saw something in you as you engaged with kids. Did that have anything? I mean, was there anything in your growing up that forged that heart for? serving at that capacity? Was there something that you were just growing up with that you could share with our viewers? That because not everybody, I call it the light bulb doesn't always go off for people, and it sometimes is traced back to how we grow up, and we don't know it until later in life. Was there anything that you can pinpoint today that really shaped that your heart and how you serve in this capacity?
For sure, definitely. I would like to say that the credit goes to my parents, my grandparents, my Indian upbringing, my love and care during my childhood. I mean, it's not like my childhood was super happy, but it was a mix of every emotion, everything. You know, when in a joint family, you have to consider other people greatly and you have to respect each and every one. So, because we know everybody is playing an important role, and we have our own roles and responsibilities. So uh, my mother used to say that she used to see us only when she it was time for us to be fed, you know.
Hmm.
Otherwise she would be in the kitchen, she would be doing this, that. We would be with our grandparents who are totally present with us. They're ready to answer all our questions, they're attending to us. We never felt neglected, we never felt neglected. So if I see somebody anywhere in any gathering, if I go and see some children, they are not able to, I mean, they are not taken care of. I feel like, what is the meaning of this gathering when you are not able to take care of the children? I mean, as
Yeah,
adult, that
yeah. No, and that's so, as you describe that, I know people that have served in orphanages, and it's so important to hold and love our kids early in life because it's like a built-in, you know, that we want to be held, we want to be loved. And so if we have that separation early in life, a lot of times it comes back later in life in some emotional challenges. So
yeah.
would you, when you first started working with autistic kids, what was your thought like? Tell our viewers what that was like. I mean, obviously you're new. I mean, you're not new into it now, but you were discovering a different world. What would you want to share with our viewers?
So this is a uh, very emotional question for me because I am also a mother. So when I saw little children, they are stressed, they are tired always. They are like um, talking. They want someone to just listen to them, just look in their eyes and they see them, hold them, be there with them, and then you can just say them, "It's okay, you know, it's okay, it's
Mhm.
okay." It's just okay, totally fine. It's okay. Uh, I felt very emotional that that I started developing attachment towards them, you know. And when I learned about not them, but their family system, their environment at home, their parents' mental status and financial status, there are a lot of contribution in the environment. I will not say that it is because of um, it is by birth, but then there are environmental conditions that play a really big role, like the parents, they are not together. There may be so many different reasons for that, and which are all valid. Suppose they are married and they are not able to stay with each other, but they have a child to take care of. Their mental peace is not there, they're not even ready to take care of the child because nobody is there to share their grief. And
Mhm.
it is very difficult situation, like a person who is going through a grief or a difficult situation, they have to take care of the child responsibly. To do that, you need a lot of tools and a lot of stability in yourself as a human being, you know. As a human being, you cannot just be like uh, you are not a machine, you are a human being after all, you know. You have your emotions, you have meltdowns, you need support. We all depend on connections and community, and just imagine, like, For a woman it is very difficult, and for a men also, I will say. I will not say like only women are suffering. No, I have seen many men also suffering, because emotionally we are all human beings, and we cannot genderize equally that men only women suffer, men don't suffer. No, it's not like that. If anybody who has come through that situation, they all suffer. So that was something very took me time to understand, and from that compassion, from there I understood, okay, what I can do. I can do only for these 5 hours, 6 hours, or maybe 3 hours. That is my time with the child. So,
Mm-hmm.
what can I do in those 3 hours? I cannot change the world. I cannot change the school system. I cannot change the principal. I cannot change the mother. I cannot be lecturing the parents like, oh, you don't know how to take care of a child. No, I cannot do that. I have seen that. I have seen that. But everything takes time. So condensing the situation to just only to me, and thinking about what I can do, just what I can do. Let me do my
Mm-hmm.
best for those 3 hours. Listening to the child, sitting with them, validating their emotions, feelings, and playing with them. Play is a big tool. Playing is like when they're playing, they're relaxed. They don't stress. So I think by playing we can do magic by just playing.
Yeah, yeah, I love that because when I was talking to Sylvie last night, she remarked about just the individuality of a child that's autistic is it's so special in that there's no child that's alike. They all have the unique abilities to do different things. And so what her daughter enjoyed was that day of, like, she her mom first said, I don't know if she's going to like this because she chose that major and then she did it on her own. But she was like, that's an emotionally challenging position. Will she be able to thrive in that environment? And she was shocked that she was. Like, she loved it. She loved every minute of that whole environment. And we think of how demanding certain things are. If they are filling your heart, it's a completely different story because you're seeing the change happen in kids, and you're seeing, like, you mentioned, I purpose, like, what do you think, like, after, so you spend, I think it was 6 years with autistic kids, is that correct? What Tell us the day you started versus the 6th year. How are you different?
Yeah, so I have become like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have understood one thing is like uh, how the other is seeing you. Like majority of the society, they are like they cannot accommodate because they have too many stress of their own, too many things to be taken care of. So for me, it was like, okay, let's put the society aside, and
Mm-hmm.
let's just happy with the kid that I'm working with without even worrying about who is saying that I'm not a good therapist, who is saying that why do you have to love that child when they are having behaviors. The therapy should be like this, the therapy should be like that, everybody correcting me, doing this, doing that. But one thing I have learned is you can love is an investment, I would say here. Like love is
Mm-hmm.
nourishment, love is investment. You can be disciplined, but you can't force discipline. And if I had a bad day as an adult, I shouldn't be bringing that to my work when I'm working with my child.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Yes.
biggest learning for me. That is the biggest learning for me. My day is mine. I'm not going to take my day, the mood of my day, to my child. No,
Mm-hmm.
that will be a fresh experience for me. Every day, I just keep praying when I'm going to the school or the home or the community or after school, wherever I'm going. I'm just praying that I don't want my mood to affect my work. I don't
Yeah.
want. I want to start my these 3 hours as fresh 3 hours, fresh
Yes.
experience.
I think that I love that answer. And I've come in contact where it was funny because where I live, there was a person that would come into work in the morning at 8 o'clock, and you would have thought it was 6 o'clock and you're just worn out. I mean, you're starting a day; it's a joyful time, but if you show up like you said, if you don't show up with the excitement to make that child, make that class that you're with the best you can be and be your best, then it shows on your body. I mean, it's like we would kid about it, like, hey, why don't you try putting a smile on? You know, it's a little bit easier than a frown. You know, it's like, oh, I got to go to work today again today. I mean, that, and I think serving really, when you serve at that level, I think it changes you. I mean, you can't. I live in a senior community, so I'm able to see the vendors that work with the seniors. They fall in love with them because the end of life is so precious. They're reflecting. They're just they've lived a full life, and they're sharing it within. So many people that I've had on my show talk about they didn't know until they stepped into the world of a senior how precious it really is. What do you say, like going forward, those years you spent teaching and coddling and loving autistic kids, how has that changed your life in what you do and going forward and how you want to serve people?
I have learned to love everybody just the way they are. That is my
Mm-hmm.
biggest learning. And for me, learning never ends because every child is different, Every child is
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
So I definitely look forward to every new case that I have to work with because that is going to teach me something. And I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to start with zero. I'm ready. I'm fresh. I'm ready for a fresh experience. I don't have any uh, conceived idea that, oh, I've got a new case. Oh my God, I'm just going to do this. No, no, nothing. No plans. Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
no. The only plan I have is me being present, being ready, being fresh, ready, available,
I
present.
I love that. We were at a friend of mine who does comedy for seniors, and he sings. We were at an event last night, and the gentleman that was kind of like, I guess he would be the head maintenance person that would always be fixing things for the seniors. He said something really precious. He said, I come to work with my plan and I throw that out the window because I then end up it's the residence plan. Like he's there to serve. He's thinking, oh, I got this to do, this do, this do. And all of a sudden, throw it out the window and let me serve my seniors. And it was so precious to hear because not everybody at a younger age can really grasp that. I always love when I see people like under 40 serving in a senior facility. Why? How, what what drove you to go work with seniors? And it's kind of a common thread. It's a little bit what I've determined is they either had to take care of a grandparent, a loved one that was older, or they were put in a position to care for somebody along the line, and it changed them. They just went from really just thinking, and sometimes we get in trouble, we think of ourselves, we just get selfish in our attitude of things. but you notice the ones that are there to serve. They have a story that touched them along the way and it changed them. And so I want to, I love when we can talk about this subject because I can see the joy on your face in your body language that, it comes through. And I'm sure our viewers can see it too, that, when you talk and say these things, it's like if we as a country here, we would have a little grace for people that don't believe what we believe. I mean, not everybody, we're not all robots. We're
Yeah.
individuals. And you respect the person's where they're coming from. If you just ask them, learn from them, and just kind of take it from the heart of love, not that you believe this and I believe this and there's nothing in the middle. And that's creates such that the decisiveness that you find out there. What would you? I love this. I could go on all day, but I wanted to let our viewers know. Look, let me see. Here I go. I'm looking for my mouse. Tell our viewers, like, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay. If you really want to get hold of me, then just remember me and smile. That will be the
Yes,
best.
that is so good. That is so good. And you've
Other
done
than that,
how many podcasts have you done total?
uh, uh, quite a few, quite a few,
Yeah.
quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
we always love our podcasters. You know, my partner, he's up in Canada, and I had a stroke about 2.5 years ago. So I had to give up my digital business, and it probably gave me a stroke. It was very stressful. But anyway, he said to me, he goes, as I'm getting back, he goes, Pete, you ought to do golf podcasting. And I said, yeah, I love golf, but I wasn't playing anymore. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it. So I jumped in, did about 40 podcasts, but I wasn't feeling it because it's kind of like you could talk about autism or you can be experience it, then talk about it. It's I wasn't feeling golf, I wasn't playing, and all the people on my show were talking about it. I'm going like, man, this is like disconnect. And then I was living in a senior facility and I'm seeing all this senior. So I said, I'm shifting. I'm back in golf. I'm getting into senior. And it was the best thing I ever did because emotionally you put yourself in the shoes of people that serve seniors. But so I want you to share with our viewers what would be the one thing that you would want them to take home from our time and our conversation on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a very big, vast question and responsible question. But I would like to say one thing is like we are all born of love, you know. Uh, if love is not there, then I don't want to complete the sentence. I would just say
Yeah.
that all there is love, love in different
Oh,
forms. It comes in different forms. Yeah. Maybe when
yes.
you are just smiling at someone, that is love.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when you're saying hello to someone when you don't know. And
Yes.
maybe that's the one person the other person met in all their day. So just yeah, little things, you know. You don't have to like really change the world. You just do little things.
Yes, that is so, man, that is wise. And that is so good that we had you finish us with that statement, with that share. So I want to thank you, Mamia. Okay, I'm working
Mommy.
on it. You got me doing it. So I'm doing pretty good. I can always handle like little words that are easy, but I have
Yeah.
to think. I have to think, and then I have to get it out. So thank you for.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a student of you helping me to understand more about whatever. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time on this Friday afternoon. If somebody's listened to it, share this with people that
Yeah,
that
sure.
one have to hear the message of love. Two, in the understanding special needs is
Yes.
truly understanding it. Put yourself in a position to serve in that community. Your life will never
Mm,
be the same. So
yeah.
thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time, and have a wonderful weekend.
You as well. Thank you so much. Namaste.